We would all love to just work alone. It would be so much easier. You can rely on yourself. But group work is essential, especially in many disciplines such as public health. I try to instill this in the students very early, and I tell them examples of my own group work, of how it's challenging, and most people don't like it, and I honor that within them and tell them that that's okay. But what we do is we tend to start out with understanding dynamics of a group. And so I do provide an overview of why you should work in a group and the inherent value of it. But beyond that, I actually let my students choose their groups, and I do it for a few different reasons. I don't know what the students' schedules are. I don't know what the students have in mind. There are a lot of different philosophies around creating groups. I find that students are actually really good at creating diverse groups that work well. And if they don't work well, it's important for them to identify those problems early and often. And so during any group work activity, I always have students assess other group members. But their assessment is not based on what I create. It's actually created on what the students create. So when a group first gets together, I ask them to create a group contract. And that is a way for them to outline what is important for them and what expectations they have for each other. After that, I have them evaluate each other on that contract. I actually don't assign a grade to it. What I do is I take that feedback and I allow the students to talk to each other about it. I give them some insider tips of, hey, it's important that you talk about these issues. How do you get someone to do work who's not doing work? And so I give them some fodder to discuss this, but I also help group members identify those issues by reaching out to them and saying, hey, how's your group work going? I also do something in my groups that I think is kind of novel. I actually send video feedback to all my groups as they're creating drafts of their projects. And during the feedback, I talk about what they need to do, what they need to change, and I also praise them about the effort that they put forth. And what I do is I send that video to all of the group members. So if you're a group member who's not contributing and you get that video, it tends to prompt you to do some more work. And I also allow class time for group projects. I don't think it's possible for students nowadays being in 6 different classes to be able to find some of that time. And so by providing class time for work, by giving feedback, and allowing them to choose their groups, I found this to be a successful strategy.